All right, Spencer.
Hey, I have a friend named Abed.
Oh, God.
What happened? What
Okay,
happened?
this is fucked up. Okay.
What happened?
Yeah, I talked to Obed today. It turns out, okay, he drives an Uber for his job. He's been out of work for a while, and he's like, I should get a job with Uber. He fucking loves it. It's like a great job for him. You know, he can talk to people. He gets the money he wants. He can make his own hours. It's great. He was driving around, and some guy flags him down. Is like, hey, but how'd it go? He stops for the guy and is like, what's happening? And this guy's like, will you pick me up? And he's like, well, you got to use the app. And the guy's like, well, let me go get my girlfriend. Woo! The guy walks off, and a cop car pulls up behind him and is like, you can't do that shit without a taxi license. And he's like, I didn't do anything. The guy flagged me down, and I talked to him. They arrested him, impounded his vehicle, took him to the station, let him out, and he had to, like, get a ride home. He doesn't have his car, so he doesn't have his job. And so his car is impounded, and he can't make money to pay to get it out of impounded. So I set up a GoFundMe for him. It's gofundme.com/helpobed. It's not too much money. We're just trying to get him so he can pay his rent because he can't pay his rent because he can't, work.
That's insane.
So just for 30 days, because it sounds like, are they shaking down? Is this must be? Do you think this is some kind of LA municipal?
It was in Van Nuys, so I don't know. I mean, Van Nuys might be less busy than real LA, but I don't know. Yeah?
What's that?
They've done that.
That's a thing?
I mean, it seems like a really effective one. I mean, it's like if you were trying to shut down Uber, then you're just impounding cars for 30 days at a time because it doesn't matter. You don't get to go to court and go, I was guilty or innocent. Your car is just out of commission for 30 days.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a lawyer, but
that's straight up entrapment.
That's fucking. It is entrapment.
Not stopping for a person flagging down your car is called being a dick.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah.
How is if that's really how it went down? Which
it took me a long time to really get the details out, but I think that's the accurate
because
picture.
you were talking to Obed.
Yeah.
We've had Abed on the show before.
Is this a real Abed?
Yeah, real Abed.
One of my
That's
friends.
the thing.
Another one of my friends.
He brought everyone so much joy in the form
as I always
Abed.
want to point out, I do think that the character I created is more dimensional.
Yeah.
I think that calling Abed real Abed is an insult.
I don't have a lot to base
my
that
work.
on, but I trust you. I trust what you say.
I feel like what I did is the real Abed.
Yeah.
Like this is a guy named
So
Abed.
the original Abed.
Yeah,
He's the
first Abed.
He's the name that I got. I got the name from this dude.
Yeah, he's a good guy, and we love him, and he's.
That's a bummer.
I'm relieved that he's not currently in jail.
Yeah.
How long was he in jail for?
Yeah.
I don't think he was. I think he got arrested and they took him to the station and then they let him go. I don't know.
Like
the specifics.
handcuffs and everything?
I think they put him in the back of the car. I don't know if they put him in handcuffs.
In the back of the Uber or in the back of a cop car?
No, they would.
That'd be weird.
Yeah. Drive to the impound lot. We'll follow you.
Yeah.
As we all know, in the Los Angeles area, typically if you flag down a cop car, you get shot in the eyeball.
In the face.
What?
And still survive.
Well, speaking of GoFundMe, I was passionate about that for my attention span, but there's a guy that across the street from Schrab's apartment.
No, in front of my apartment.
Yeah, he saw it.
Weird distinction to
Across the street?
You are connected with it.
No. There was this guy that was walking down the street during like prime time on Los Feliz.
Yeah.
And he flagged down a cop. He had like a towel around his hand, and he flagged down the cop car, and they pulled over, and they got out.
Because he goes walking every day.
Yeah.
According to his son, takes a towel and a bottle of water, no shirt, broad daylight, Los Feliz. This is a guy who he's just walking. Middle-aged guy, just like this is what he does. He goes walking.
This is what he does.
So
This is what he's done for 30 years.
Unfortunately, the story, the true side of the story that you need is locked in the brains that end up getting blown out because the other side is up to lawyers and the city.
The police get out of the car and they say, drop the gun, and he's like, I don't know what, and he didn't have a gun.
What would you do if you were holding a towel and cops kept saying, drop your gun, drop the gun? You would
You would probably go,
I don't think I would drop my towel.
Yeah.
I think there's a good chance I would go, it's a towel.
Yeah.
And
they shot him in the eye, and he didn't die, but and then they handcuffed him, which I guess is police procedure.
Yep.
But they just rolled his bloody. It was awful. It's awful. But it happened like right outside my house. Like Kate and I were like hanging out in the living room, and we hear pop, 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 and I was like, somebody just got shot, and looked outside, and there's everything.
Fuck.
Yeah.
And there's a million videos of his lifeless body being handcuffed. There's no videos of the incident, even though it happened in rush hour traffic, because it just happened that fast.
Yeah.
The problem is the way that the city handles this stuff. Like something like this happens, and then this guy's wife, she has to quit her job. We pretend like it's not like a game show where all of a sudden you're elevated to a different part of life. Like their ordinary life has to continue, and everyone's just like, yeah, we shot your husband in the eye, and the two cops that did it are going back to work. Of course they would.
They're getting evicted too because they can't afford to pay rent.
She had to quit her full-time job because she has to take care of her husband, who a quarter of his head is
Walter
missing.
De Leon. His name.
And so there's just a GoFundMe for them because it's like, well, we can't make our rent. It's not about justice. It's not about outrage. It's about like, well, now we're going to be homeless too because we got shot in the eye by the cops. We're going to also then, as a matter of course, be evicted from our apartment. That's the point where it gets it's insane. So which I think crowdfunding, if there's one thing we can do, and I always said when I was tweeting that link, I was like, if you live in Los Angeles, and particularly if you work for the city, because maybe let's have a stake in this, but I don't. But people from Ireland will then give $1 to a guy. It's like well, there must be fucked up stuff going on in Ireland. I don't know what my point is. I know that there's suffering happening all over the place, but there's the two GoFundMes on my radar are the guy who got his brains shot out in front of Rob's apartment, whose wife is about to be homeless because it's hard to take care of a person with a quarter of a brain and also work at Shoney's, wherever she worked. She worked at NASA. Dan, don't be an asshole. Whatever her job was, I'm sure it was 12 hours a day, and then she had to quit it, and so it's just like a certain amount of money they need so they can continue to live in their apartment. And this is Abed now, who got obviously entrapped, unless he's a pathological liar, which I don't think he is. He got flagged down by a cop, and they confiscated his car, and now he can't make a living. The other one is just Holocaust survivors, but whatever. Put that on the back burner.
Does he have his car back?
No. It's impounded, and he can't even get it. Like, he can't try for 30 days.
Oh my god!
How much does it cost to get it impounded?
I don't know. They won't tell you the exact
repounded?
price.
Rebounded, yes.
Rebounded.
We made an estimate, but they won't tell you the exact price, but they'll tell you what they think it'll be over the phone. But you can't. They won't tell you until 30 days pass, and because they charge you for the tow and then for the storing the whole time you store.
They charge you for storing. Hey, we're not made out of space over here at the impound lot where you can't get your car out. You're 30 days. Out. I wish I could whistle. 30 days you made us keep this car in here.
If you ever get approached by a policeman, just lay down on the ground and spread your limbs out as wide as you can. And just say, I don't have anything in my hands. I don't have anything in my hands.
I mean, that's what you're describing is what we found out in this recent rash this last year. It's like culturally, what's come to the surface is that this is something that black parents actually have to say to their kids.
Yeah, man.
They have to have the cop talk with their kids.
The cop talk.
Where regardless of their tax bracket, because if a cop ever has an encounter with you, because I don't care what you see on TV, where a cop, I don't care what you believe about society, a parent has to sit on the foot of the bed of a kid and say, you need to fucking comply beyond all reasoning in your head of what's fair.
Shit, you got to sit on the foot of their bed and talk to them about. There's so many things already. There's a whole list.
Shoes.
Can you imagine being that kid though? Like being the kid who's like, is like, I've been growing up just as a normal person, and it's like, oh, I gotta be afraid of the cops? Like, as a small child, like, it's gotta, like, just fuck with you. It's like these people that are supposed to protect me, you know, it's like they might hurt me. That's gotta, like, really kind of put you in kind of like a real stressful, high anxiety. Because that's how I feel about cops, is that they're probably gonna kill me. And that's completely unfounded, like, because I'm just walking around, you know? But it's just the idea that you'd have to think about that, like, just from being a small child is just so heartbreaking to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and by the way, the LAPD, in general, as far as I understand it, since the Rodney King thing, like, you notice, like, I'm curious about the statistics, but because you don't hear the good news, especially when the good news is lack of brutality, because there's nothing to report there. But as far as I understand, the LAPD was taken over by the Department of Justice. It's still like being babysat by a weird bureaucratic commission that's out of any satire you'd write about political correctness, but is functioning actually kind of okay, minus the odd guy getting shot in the eyeball. That there isn't, like that it's way more fucked up in a lot of other cities, that we're discovering this entrenched, crazy, like you're lifting up rocks and there's just like worms crawling out and you're like, holy crap. Like, the LAPD is like very, but correct me if I'm wrong. You know, tweet me and show me articles and things because I'm too lazy to read. But that's my perception. Is that actually it's unreportably positive that we're kind of like, we're not in the headlines.
Yeah,
for the last 15 years.
City. It's a very new city. I love the movie L.A. Confidential because. Well, I don't know, because it's fucking awesome. But also it's like shows us this cross section of the LAPD at that time, and it seems systemically like they were built on this corruption, and then recently, like I'm drunk. I'm a little drunk.
There's a thing, like right around the time of the Rodney King thing, there was this Rampart scandal. It was like they created this anti-gang task force in the Rampart neighborhood of Los Angeles because there was such heavy gang activity, and that was it was an eye opener because the Rampart anti-gang like squad became just another gang, and they literally would go, I don't know if they would literally did drive-bys, because they didn't have to. Drive-bys are a thing you do because there's cops. If you're a cop, you get out, you handcuff a guy, get him on his knees, and they were assassinating people. Like they were like handcuffing them and then killing them because they were simply another gang that had a different outfit and a different kind of car and had a different like
what kind of car?
One with the flashing lights.
Yeah, what are they rocking?
But that shit all got, the LAPD currently, as far as I understand it, exists in a kind of very, very modern, open source, bureaucratic.
Yeah, but like you said, like it's just having to grow from that origin. You know, like that they're having to. It's like a whole new thing. Hopefully, I don't know anything about it.
Who knows?
We're not the worst, but we could do a lot better.
Who's the worst?
Ohio.
Fuck those guys.
Fuck Ohio. It's Milwaukee.